I'll like say 5 things. Oh, hey everyone! Happy and Fit. This is our last Zoom of 2016. Isn't that insane? And look how many. Oh my gosh, I did not even plan that. Where did you even come from? You guys know how he goes. Okay, love you, thank you. You know the red in me is like, we didn't plan that. I'm just kidding. You're so cute. Thank you. You guys, we are a 5-star elite team. Isn't that so exciting? Oh my goodness, it's so crazy. I love you all so much. I'm super excited for Kim Meyer to be kicking off our last call in Zoom for 2016. She's a powerhouse. If anyone knows how to own her day, own her schedule, it's Kim Meyer. She'll list all those things for you. When you are listening, don't be distracted. Put away your phone, get out a paper, get out a pen, and be plugged in. We heard an amazing Zoom today on a Diamond call that a really successful coach just said, where it's so important to stay hungry and grow and learn from other people and implement. So don't feel overwhelmed. Take a couple things that you learned from Kim to implement. Don't try to implement everything, if that makes sense. All right, Kim Meyer, I'm so excited. She's a Diamond coach. She's on her way to 1-star. She's going to kill it in 2017. She is a Success Club All-Star, soon All-Star legend in 2017. And not just Success Club 5 or 6, it's Success Club 10. Like, she just crushes it each and every single month. And she shows up fearlessly in all of her roles in life. So I'm going to mute myself. Kim, take it away. Good to see everybody on today. I'm so incredibly proud and excited for us.
Hey, everyone. I just want to give another little shout out. I know I did this morning and she just mentioned it again, but put your hands together for Miss Jules, leading this team, going far, far. Yeah, life is good. So I am going to share my screen with you and we'll get this party started. All right, so I have kind of moved you off the screen a little bit, so I can't see the chat very well, and I can't see you, which is okay, because, we're just going to roll with this, all right? So if you have questions, go ahead and drop them in the question feed. If you hear popcorn, if you hear kids talking in the background or playing with toys, it's because we are on Christmas break, people. And so there's no bedtime. And so everyone is just enjoying themselves down there. I am plugged in. I'm going to be here with you, and I'm excited to share this with you. I'm excited to be closing the year out with this Zoom. I'm excited to help you get started with 2017. So let's get rolling. All right. So who am I? My name is Kim Meyer. I am, that all of you know that. I wanted to go through my 6 roles with you. Who am I? I am a child of God. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a school administrator, which means I'm crazy busy and have a million different jobs. I am a Beachbody coach, and I am a grad student. Now, we all know that these 6 roles come and go, and they all change. And eventually, this grad student thing on the bottom, that's going to be going away in May because I'll be graduating. And so something else will fill that 6th role. But that's who I am right now. That's what runs my day. That's who I'm running my day with. So all of these things come into play, and I'm going to show you how I schedule all of this stuff in, how all of it happens, and hopefully you learn something with it and you find out what happens in my crazy world. A little bit more about me. I'm a peanut butter addict. Totally the reason why I don't have amazing quarter force results, because I totally feel stronger. I'm much more fit, but I love peanut butter, unfortunately. And unfortunately, I'm also creating a peanut butter monster with my daughter. I'm an ed tech geek. My first passion was in education was educational technology and going after cool, unique, hands-on learning experiences for kids, integrating technology into my classroom. And then that's what my first master's was in, is educational technology and career and curriculum development. So I kind of geek out on like trying to find cool things for teachers to do in their classrooms. And I use my husband's 5th grade classroom as a test pool kind of area sometimes, which she sometimes likes and sometimes doesn't. I'm a doer. I'm a fixer. Give me a task, I'll nail it. I'm tenacious. I am a red, okay? But I'm also a white. So when you mix that all kind of in together, you can call me pink. Like I said, I'm a doer. I'm a fixer. I go after things. I have a goal in mind. I want to get there. I'm very task oriented and driven, but yet I'm cool and just play it calm. All right. So that's a little bit more about me. I'm going to keep going about me though, because life in my last 33 years, almost 34 years, has shaped me in a lot of ways. And, this team has talked a lot about paradigms. We talked about why things are the way they are. And so kind of just me from start to finish and little lessons along the way that maybe you can learn from too, and maybe you can relate to and take something from. So I started out as a poor farm kid. Okay. I grew up in the 80s in Iowa, and to parents who were farmers growing up themselves, became farmers, lived farm life, never went to college. They were just, making life work the best they could the way their parents had raised them. I learned some big lessons in this growing up as a kid, that nothing comes easy, nothing's guaranteed, and that you have to sacrifice things to make it. And that hard work is absolutely necessary if you want anything out of life. So I'm very grateful for these lessons. I think they've totally shaped me for who I am. I'm not ashamed to say that I was a poor farm kid. I'm not ashamed of my past. In fact, I embrace it because it's who it's made me today. It's part of my tenacity. It's part of really going for things and having that task-driven thing. It's where I attribute a lot of my my hard work ethic comes from that. And so you'll see some of that comes through here. So I grew up, I went to a very small school. There was 28 kids in my graduating class. And out of those 28 kids, 14 of us were girls. We're pretty split half and half. So little, okay? Who was I? I wanted to be more than just the poor farm kid that never came to town much except for school. And so I got involved in athletics. Like I said, my parents never went to college. I had to work for everything. Here I find out that grit matters. If I want anything in life, I'm going to have to go for it. So my parents pretty much told me, you're not going to be able to go to college unless you can figure out how to pay for it. And I saw sports as my way to do that. I'd seen other students from my school get college athletic scholarships. I knew that it was a possibility. As a freshman, I was playing all varsity level sports, which you may be saying, hey, Kim, you went to a small 1A school. Yeah. But I was taking it on. I saw that as my ticket out. I saw that as my ticket to my future with sports. And so because that quickly became who I was an athlete then. I wasn't particularly the smartest person in my class. I wasn't always great at my grades. I mean, I did fine, but sports was my thing. And so I knew that if I was going to get anywhere, I was going to have to use my athletic talent, my athletic ability to get out of there. Also being in a small school and the girl that played varsity from the get-go, I think halfway through probably quarter way through my freshman year of volleyball, I was playing varsity full-time. I never played a single JV basketball game. I started my very first high school basketball game and in varsity level. State track, I went all 4 years and medaled all 4 years. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that's who I was. That's how I saw where I was going, was I needed to be that athlete. Because of that, there's high school girls, jealousy there. Friendships aren't always stable. I learned very early on to guard my heart and to rely on me. So that's where the grit comes in, that I figured out I can achieve my goals, I can create my own future, and I needed to depend on me in order to get there. So that's kind of where that started to shape into my life. And then, fast forward a little bit, spoiler alert, those pieces right there where my heart was guarded against female relationships, that kind of got shattered a little bit when we were in Nashville this last summer. So awesome ladies around this table. So that's kind of the next part. So I graduated from high school. I got college. I got to college. I played some sports there. I decided to go to Wartburg, very small school. Did not get an athletic scholarship there. In fact, I got an academic scholarship to go to Wartburg. D3 school, very small. They don't give athletic scholarships, but I worked my tail off while I was there. I found out that there's never enough time in the day for everything that you need to do. We didn't have much growing up, so I needed to figure out how to pay for college. So I got some academic scholarships. I was an RA. I worked in the PEC, which is our physical education complex. I did odd jobs around. I worked my tail off in the summer to make money. There was just, and then I was also a student. I played basketball and I ran track at Wartburg. And so when you talk about a full schedule, I had it. And I've always just kind of known, and I just needed to prioritize my time and get things there. So, and then sometimes then as a teacher, I went through high school athletics. I moved directly into college athletics. And then in college, I decided I wanted to be a teacher, and I wanted to give back to the student, the livelihood that I was as an athlete. And so I decided to become a coach too. And so I moved from high school athlete to college athlete, and then right into my teaching career. I taught first grade, and I jumped right into coaching as well. So first year teacher, coaching basketball, coaching varsity track. Again, not a lot of time, and I gave up a lot of things in order to give back to people. So I didn't do a lot of sleeping because as a first year teacher, it's a lot. It's overwhelming. You have 26 little bodies that you're trying to take care of and help them learn the best they can. And so I had to give up a bit of me. And I actually remember very clearly deciding to walk to school one morning because things weren't fitting as well anymore. And the guidance counselor lived near me, and we walked to school together that morning. And she was kind of asking me I think back, she was kind of counseling me in a way of how I could improve and make sure I was taking care of myself. But yeah, so, all lessons along the way there. Sometimes you have to give up some of yourself in order to give back to others. And so now, I'm into that teaching coach role. And then I meet this amazing man, and we fall in love and we get married, and I become a wife. And, then eventually, a year later, I get to be a mom, and it's awesome and I love it. And then you figure out that having 26 kids in your classroom as first graders, or 24 or 25 kids in your classroom as fourth graders, they're amazing, but they go home and you get to go be yourself. With yourself and your spouse. But when you have your own kids, that changes everything. And if you thought your plate was full before, having children magnifies that. And so then I also realized there will never be more time in the day. You're just going to have to make it work. And so all of that, that time planning and those crunches and the just that tenacity piece that I learned along the way, that all just kind of came into play. And I learned how to function my schedule in order to just make it work. Sometimes I had to sacrifice things for me. Sometimes I had to sacrifice things for the others that were in my plate and my roles of life. But we made it work. And we got to the point where we were both teaching. I was teaching in Grundy. He was teaching in GMG. We had Jonah, and I finished my first master's, and I decided, hey, I want to level up. I want more out of life. Something's missing. And so I decided that, after I got my master's, I was going to apply for this job here where I am now, school administrator. I was going to be the director of curriculum and technology. And so I was like, hey, yeah, let's go for it, right? Well, while I was a teacher, I was also a coach, and that was still my connection to my original identity as an athlete, right? So all up until this point, before we moved here to Vinton, I was involved with some sort of team. So from 7th grade track through 2009, 2011, I was a part of some sort of track team. I was a part of some sort of athletic team at that point. When I moved here to Vinton, I lost that. I couldn't be a coach and an administrator and a mom and a new person in the community and try to get the technology livelihood of our district up and running. It just wasn't, I had to give up some things, right? And I really lost my purpose. I lost a really big chunk of my identity. Then I had another baby and life went crazy still again. And so I really had to like reconnect with who I was, and kind of had that, that like mom identity crisis thing a little bit. And I really had to reconnect to God because, he is the giver of all things. He is the one that gives us the path, and we just have to open our eyes to it. And so this quote here, God's not gone. We've just closed our eyes to him and his plans. And so, I really tried to dig into our church services. I really tried to dig back into my devotions. I really tried to like find that time for me again. And it was when Beachbody entered my life that I saw Lindsay's post and her amazing results. I'd met her in college. I knew we were jumpers together on the track team. I knew her. I saw her amazing results and I was like, hell yeah, I need in on that. And, then I figured it out. Yeah, that's what's missing. That's what's missing in my life, is that athlete mindset, is that I'd let my body go and I wasn't really sure if I could get it back. But I knew if Lindsay could do it, that I could do it. I knew the type of thing that she was capable of, being a part of Wartburg Track and Field. And if anybody knows that, it's really hard. Coach Newsom is very difficult with you. But after doing some of these Beachbody programs, I think we could definitely run laps around them now, because we are in the best shape of our lives. But I really lost my purpose there. And so I really had to reconnect and come back to things. I had to find my identity again. And then, now, through this almost 2 years journey of getting into Beachbody, getting back into shape, digging into personal development, and digging into finding myself again, finding my confidence again, really crushing self-doubts, it's all kind of come full circle. And now I'm helping other people rise up out of their self-doubts and all of that stuff, and getting to be finding who they really are supposed to be, and what, finding that purpose of their life. So yeah, there's still going to be doubt. I still doubt sometimes. December's been kind of a rough month, but I'm leaning in on others for support. I'm putting on my blinders and I'm going the extra inch. I posted something the other day a week or so ago about 52 cards. How many cards are you going to flip over to find your 4 aces? Going that extra inch and being yourself, and will not only help you find confidence in your own business, but it will help you find the confidence for others to push play. It will help you inspire other people. And so, this verse really comes forth for me about 6 months or so ago, maybe even almost a year ago now. Our Bible study group was going through some strength finding things, and like, what is your calling? Like, what are your spiritual gifts? And mine all had to do with leadership. It was administration, faith, leadership, and basically everything you need here. In my current job as a coaching, I coach instructional coaches now in my role, and then I get to coach people in their life goals. And so everything that you need in life, education and health and fitness, that's me. That's what I get to do, and I feel so blessed to be able to do that. So God has given every single one of us a gift. There are a variety of spiritual gifts, and He's given some of them to all of us. And if we use them well, we'll be serving one another, and we'll be doing everything that in His plan for us. So I encourage you to find your spiritual gifts and to just follow them, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to. So that's kind of all where Team Rise and Fit has come from. Some of you have seen me and my team a part of Happy and Fit. But now that you know a little bit of my back history, where Rise and Fit comes from. Helping women and others rise up from what they feel like is their limitless potential, to help them go where out of their self-doubts, out of their fears, out of their past experiences, and out of the negativity of the world, and help them become the women that God created them to be. We want to help women walk proud, with their heads held high, with hope for their futures, and with purpose, fulfilling the lives that God made them for. Whatever that may be, whether that's being a 5-star elite Beachbody coach, whether that's being the most amazing mom possible, whether that's being the best co-worker at their job, or just whatever their goals and dreams are, that's what we want to do. Help them rise up and be happy and fit and rise above all of the stuff that's happened in their life. So I've really felt like over the years that, especially the last 2 years, I've done the personal development and things like that, being a part of this team and finding this community, that's what my life has really been, is like rising up out of nothing to get to where anywhere and everywhere I want to be. I've been extremely blessed to be a part of groups along the way. And it's totally a God thing that He's placed me in areas that are the best things. So if you're from Iowa or from the Midwest, or you've ever heard anything about Wartburg, they have like amazing, top-notch athletic programs and an education program and everything. So you've probably heard of Wartburg Wrestling maybe, or you've heard of the track and field team. My senior year, our track and, not me, but our track and field team, we hosted the nationals. We won nationals that year. Just very decorated school. I was a part of and around success. And I was a part of and around uplifting amazing people. And, God put me there for a reason. Wartburg is extremely expensive. And I was able to walk out of there and get out of there with very little debt, which is totally a God thing too. And so took me out of my meager start, placed me into this amazing place to grow and to learn and to shape me. And then He put me in another situation with school, where I was able to find amazing people to be uplifted and share and to grow with my master's, and then put me here at Vinton Shellsburg, where I feel like we are doing amazing things for kids and for our community. And now He's put me on this amazing team of Happy and Fit and Rise and Fit, where we can grow and just share His love and use this as a platform for Him and for helping other people. So that is just mind-blowing amazing to me, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this. So now kind of get to the topic, right? Own your day, or does the day own you? So a little bit about me now. You know that life is just nuts sometimes. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going, but a little bit here, I've got my schedule. And I just want to tell you that it's really all about making sure that you are preparing to be successful, because failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And of course I had to throw a John Wooden quote in here, because I love basketball and John Wooden is just an amazing man. If you ever look him up, if you don't know who he is, but failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And so no matter what is going on in my life, no matter what is going on in my day or my week or my month, you have to prepare for things. And this goes along with everything that we do as Beachbody coaches and as moms and as working mothers and everything else. So fitting in the 4 vital behaviors sometimes seems very daunting. Like I have 2 kids to get ready in the morning. I have to get my own workout in. I have to get ready to go and to work on time. I have meetings to be in. I have after school activities I have to be at. I have all these excuses of all the things that are in there. But you know what? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same amount of minutes and seconds, and it's about how you use them that is going to be whether or not you're successful or not, whether you can make it. And the belief in yourself that you can do it is also so very important. So fitting in these 4 vital behaviors, they happen when they happen throughout the day when I have time to get them in. And it's just being conscious of what's going on around me and what's happening. So what does my day look like, right? Well, this is an actual screenshot of my phone. Yes, I have that many alarms that happen at that time. Yes, that's what my world looks like in the morning, and my husband hates it. But hey, I just hit 100 because I've been swinging my arms. Anyway, okay. So 5 a.m., my alarm goes off. And yes, this is exactly what it says on my phone. 5 a.m., let's grow your mind. I plug in my headphones, my headphones are already plugged in, I push play on some PD. Okay. It's usually a podcast, whether it's MWF Motivation or it's Brendon Burchard or it's something else. I've got podcasts plugged in there. Plug in, listen to that. 5:15, the alarm goes off again. Now I am digging into my devotion, or I'm just laying there in prayer, or I'm just thanking God for the amazing things that he's given me, starting my day with gratitude. You've seen me maybe post about that the last couple of days. When you start your day with gratitude and you start your day with just giving back to the universe and to God about all the amazing things that he's done for you, your day can't do anything but go, like, it's just going to be amazing after that, right? So then, yes, seriously, 5:25, it says, seriously, enough Snapchat, enough email, you need to get going. You need to get downstairs. And so at 5:30-ish, we're usually pushing play. On Saturday mornings at 5:45 a.m., my alarm goes off because every day at 6 o'clock on Saturday mornings, I meet with my amazing success partner, Miriam. And that really has been like a major game changer in my business the last 6 months or so. I don't know how long we've been together, Miriam. But it's been absolutely amazing. And I love connecting with her. It's my favorite time of the week. And we just get to talk and to grow together and all those kinds of things. And then at 6 o'clock, I've got a couple challengers that I text. If I'm not up already, I'm doing that. And then 6:15 is when we change lives. That's when we start our power hour. So you can kind of see my schedule on the other side, what happens the rest of the day. I have power hour into 2 chunks. They're actually kind of 2 45-minute chunks. And so I try to get as much as I can done in the morning, my invites, my posts. I check in with my challenge groups. I add to my network at that point. And then at the second half of the day, I'm really lucky in that my husband gets my kids as he comes home from school. And so he usually gets home about 4:45. So I have from 4 to 4:45 within the last couple of months that's been working out really well. And then I try to do some catch-up things, touch base with my coaches. I'm really trying to unplug between 5 and 7, but that doesn't always happen. And then after 8 o'clock, then I'm free back to Beachbody World and Zooms and connecting with my coaches and doing what I need to do to prepare for the coming days or week with things. This afternoon, this evening, they've been out and about doing different things. I've been prepping for my 5-day that's happening next week, those kinds of things. So you have to prepare in lots of different ways. The next thing you need to prepare for, not just in your schedule it all out, but you also think about your posts. You have to plan ahead, think it through, talk about what inspires you, write out your posts ahead of time. I actually have a journal that I've literally just on Sundays usually is when I do it. It doesn't have to be Sunday. It can be any day of the week. But I just think about the things that I want to talk about that week and kind of plot out my week. Let's see if I can find one. I did a lot with the Own It posts. And so I literally just like write out 5 to 6 things that I want to talk about. And then those are my posts for the week. And I can just go to this and say, this is what I'm doing. And then what I do is after I write them all out, the hardest part is usually finding an image. That's what takes me the longest time, it seems like. But I write out this post ahead of time. I schedule them in Hootsuite, and then I find images to go with them and put those in there before they actually post. You can see over on the left-hand side there, stockpile your images. Get a whole bunch of stuff that you just use over and over again. So you've probably seen me in this Happy and Fit shirt a lot. I was actually at my sister-in-law's house waiting for them to get home one weekend, like way back in October. And so they have amazingly white walls. and this beautiful deck outside with the bricks. So I was like, hey, I'm going to get some snapshots. Literally just prop my phone up against something and just took a bunch of pictures. Use the timer on my phone, use those kinds of things. I had really good outdoor lighting at that point, and those are just on my phone now. That's really a snapshot of what my pictures look like. I found this staircase at a training I was going to, so you can literally get things anywhere. I went to a training in Coralville for school, and I was like, that's a really cool staircase. I think I could use that someday. And so I took a picture of it. take pictures of things that inspire you. Take pictures of things that you think you could potentially use someday, and always be kind of thinking about those kinds of things in the back of your head, and then just have them available to you. Keep them on your phone and just go with it from there. So being planful and thoughtful in your posts. The next thing you need to be planful of and scheduling things out are your challenges. You need to be thinking ahead of time, 1 to 2 months out for an event page to get started. You always have something to invite to. So January 1st, I'm going to have a February challenge that I'm going to start talking about. I may still be talking about the health vet a little bit because, but that might be a last chance kind of thing to order for the health vet. But then after that, I need to have a February plan. Last year, Lindsay and I did a Take Heart thing together. We can do something like that. Reuse some of the content that you used the year before. Totally cool. But come up with the themes, come up with the check-ins, come up with those things well in advance. So 1, you're not hustling at the end, feeling overwhelmed. And 2, you just have something to invite to, because as soon as that one gets started, you got to keep the ball rolling, and you got to give them time to think about it. You got to give them time to order something for it. You got to give them time to get other people involved. So all 1 to 2 months out, have a plan, have things going. I actually have, maybe near me, probably downstairs, my calendar that has everything on it for the next several months when my challenges start. Jules has put some links in our Happy and Fit page of start dates for challenge groups, if that's helpful for you, and just start thinking about things. I use Canva a lot. I started to use a nightly check-in, just a single graphic that we just use all the time. Team up with other people, use what's available to you. There are lots of amazing guides in the back office. Use the team files tab in the back. Use what's available to you and get prepared and plan ahead of time for what you want to do. The next thing that you need to do is plan out your conversations. So one of the things that was really a struggle for me when I didn't have that second 45-minute chunk of time was I needed to know, I need a time efficient. I couldn't sit and think about who I wanted to talk to. I couldn't sit and think about who I was going to connect with that day. I had to have a plan. I had to have something written down and kind of my checklist thing. Remember, I'm task oriented. Give me a task, I get it done. So have a list. Now what I use, actually my list is right here for what I used to use. When I started, I had a planner right here that literally just has 5 names written on it on the days. And I'm just going to show you an empty page, but it's literally just a planner like this, okay? And it would have 5 names on every single day. All I did was go through my friends list and write 5 names down. It was that simple. As I added people to my network, I'd write those 5 names down. And so every day I would reach out to those 5 people. And that was just what I did. Now what I do is that I don't write them down in my planner anymore. That's for other things. Now what I do is I just have exported my friends list from Facebook, uploaded into a Google Doc, and I keep track of things like there. So I will put in there when I contacted them. I don't reach out to guys or coaches, like Carrie's in there as a coach. So I just kind of keep track of information in that Google Doc. It's with me everywhere then, and I don't have to worry about if I have my planner around or if I'm, at the park or if I'm in the car, I can pull up my Facebook friends Google Doc and message people if I need to. Make a list of the people you want in your challenge groups. Make a list of the people you want on your team. Go through your friends list. Who is it that you would want to have a dream team with? And then figure out how you're going to invite them. Strike up a conversation. Get them involved. Are you a cold inviter or a warm inviter? That really plays into how much time you plan for things and how you go about your day. I'm a cold inviter. I have a couple different paragraphs that I use that get the conversation started. Once I don't have time in my day to have warm, fuzzy conversations with people unless they're committed and they want to work with me. I am awesome at getting connected with my challengers. I'm awesome at getting connected with my coaches, but they have to commit to wanting to be a part of something. And then I'm going to give you every single ounce of me. But if you're really not interested and I've spent 20 minutes talking to you and then you find out that you're really not interested, I've just wasted 20 minutes of my time. So that's how I feel about it. Others feel differently. Again, I'm a red, but I'm a cold inviter. I do something that's very, very basic and just gets the conversation starting, kind of piques the interest. And then we start the conversation when they say, yes, I'm interested, or tell me more. And then we can dig into things that might be some objections or those kinds of things. I really want to talk about chronic coaching and how conversations can really get into that chronic coaching. I am very guilty of it as well. And when you really get outside of your power hour time, or you really get outside of the times that you've kind of set aside to be your business hours, chronic coaching can happen very easily, especially at this time of the year when it's the 22nd of the month and you need Success Club points, or you just know that that one person is just going to say yes if you get back to them right now. They'll say yes later if they're really interested. They'll still say yes. So be careful about chronic coaching. Be careful about being plugged in when you should be unplugged, and make sure that you are being planful with your time. And when you've dedicated time to something, that you really stick to it. So that's my plug for that. Hold me accountable. The other thing that as coaches and as challengers and everything else that you need to be mindful of is your meal prep, right? Practice what you preach. Plan what you're going to have. Go to the grocery store, cook it, portion it out, and put it in the freezer or put it in the fridge. You really have to know what your plan is. Share your plans with your challengers. Share your plans with your coaches. What are you eating? What are some great recipes that you've found? Are you trying things from the meal guides? Are you trying things from other places? Try the recipes, share them on your social media. Again, this is another stockpile picture. I think I probably have me eating lunch at my desk like 100 times on my phone. And so it's just a great way to show that you can portion your meals, have a healthy meal at lunch, have an easy meal on the go, all those kinds of things. And so if you're walking the walk, if you are being a product of the product, it means that you are following the meal plans as well. And you show people that it's easy to prepare and do all that kind of stuff and eat healthy on the go. So that is definitely something as a major lifesaver in my day. I can literally just grab containers and run out the door. I have gotten my kids in the car twice this week, gotten my kids in the car and be like, and I run back in the house and just throw containers in my bag and out the door we go. So meal prepping has saved so much time and so many calories and so much on my body. It's amazing. It's been a must in my life. And so, yeah, this is really what my meal prepping looks like, what all my containers look like. My fridge gets overwhelmed. So almost 2 years in the business. I started in February 2015 as a discount coach. I started in August 2015 as an active coach. Hit the ground running with a team cup team back then. And so I've got some lessons learned. The joy is in the journey. I can tell you that right away, that one of the quotes that really stuck with me this morning from our Diamond call was that if you're going to win, it's not going to work. Be better, not a winner. I have it on there. Good. You want to work to be better every day, and the joy is in the journey of becoming better. There's going to be challenges to overcome, but that's what makes the success so worthwhile. So if you make your goal, like Julianne talked about live a few minutes ago, and as we've always talked about, it's not about a rank, it's not about a prize, it's not about how many Success Club points you get, it's not about winning, it's about becoming better. And there are going to be struggles. Not everything is going to go as planned. Yes, I plan out my entire day. I plan out my entire week. Hiccups happen. Life happens. But it's how you rebound from that makes it all work. And so being in education, especially, life doesn't always go the way you want it to, and especially technology, being in education, right? I don't know how many times I've gone to something like last Monday we had a board meeting, and one of the principals that was in charge of the presentations very nervous about the technology, and I was like, I've gone in, I've tested it, it's all good, sounds fine, use this laptop, I've already got it all set up for you, and as soon as the computer gone to sleep, as soon as she wiggled it, it had locked out. Now this panic look is all over her face. So the fixer. I went over, I fixed it. It was all good. Be better, not a winner. Life's not going to go as planned. Bounce back from it anyway. Be calm in the situation. Stay balanced. Okay. One of the things that I've gotten takeaways from this book, T.D. Jakes, if you know him at all, he's amazing, is that one of the things that he talks a lot about is he's not going to win at every role he has in life every single day. He's not going to be the best dad every day, but he's also not going to be the worst dad every day. He's not going to be the worst husband every day. You know, he's a pastor, he's a writer, he's a movie producer, he's everything. He said, I may win really awesome at one role one day and fail on something else, but I never let the same ball drop more than one day in a row. And so you have to stay balanced. You have to, if you overgo in one area, pick up the other side and go with that later. Try to stay as balanced as you can. I shared with you my 6 roles at the beginning. Keep those 6 roles as balanced as you can. Again, nothing ever goes as planned. There will be struggles, but if you're working to become better every single day, it will be easier to juggle those 6 roles and keep them all up in the air. Never ever give up. As soon as you put your arms down and let all those balls drop, all of your momentum is gone. Everything that you worked so hard for is just going to slip away or start to slip away. And so really try to make sure that you're digging into your personal development, you're digging into things, and that you're really staying true to who you want to be, who your goals are, what you want to achieve in life. One of the things that we've talked about a lot is be you. Use your own voice. One of the things that's been mentored for us and shared and really a strong suit, I think, of our team is that we are true to our own voice. We're learning to speak as ourselves. We're using our history, our past, who we've become to share our story and not each other's stories. And, stay true to who you want to be. This business can be whatever you make of it and whatever it is that you want it to be and however you run it. You are the CEO of your own business, and that you can make it the best you can possibly be with your own integrity, keeping true to yourself with your own core values. And you don't have to play somebody else's game. You don't have to do it the way they do it. Success is not above you. You can do it any way that you want to do it and find joy and find value and overcome and be successful and worthwhile with everything that you do. So I really want you to set your intentions. What are you going to do in 2016 here to plan for 2017? We have roughly 9 days left of the year. We've done our dreaming. We've done our dream boards, our vision boards. We've set our eyes out on what it is that we want to achieve. But what is the plan? What are the actions that you're going to put in place to get you there? Are you going to own your day? Or are you going to let it own you and become overwhelmed and not get anything done and sit and spin? So that's my action call to you today. I want you to set your intentions. I want you to write out your steps. I want you to think about what you're going to be doing to get 2017 set off in an amazing way. And that's kind of what I have for you. Hopefully you got something out of that. Hopefully I just didn't ramble and talk crazy, and I see that the chat's been blowing up. But if you have questions or you have something to share, go for it. Anyone?
Today in our Diamond Zoom, Amanda Dewey said, if there aren't any questions, that means that she didn't do her job. So honestly, this is your chance to do it. Kim, that was phenomenal. And 2, just don't just be inspired. That's just the biggest thing. A lot of people get on these Zooms and they just feel inspired and they feel good in their heart, and then they go back to doing what they always have done. But if you legitimately are inspired to take action, that is what is the difference between just sitting and being like, oh, that was just so lovely, or being like, whoa, this spoke to me. Kim, my action item is I'm ordering that book. I know that sounds really small, but I want to read that book. And I know that that book is going to help me. So awesome. All right. I'll mute myself now.
Hey, Kim, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, do you have a way to like organize your pictures, your photos? I feel like I'm always just scrolling through, like I know I took a picture like that, but can't find it. So.
Yep. I use my albums a lot on my phone. I'm just gonna close it. Yeah, I use my albums a lot, and if there's something that I know I'm going to use a lot, like I have in my favorites, I put different things. So like, let me pull it up. So in my favorites, like I have things that I send to people a lot. So like the Pick Your Path, the coaching options, those kinds of things that are on my phone, I send to those. Different pictures that I know I'm going to want to use right away, I put in my favorites album. Otherwise, I just categorize them in albums on my phone. And because I have a Mac computer as well, I can kind of organize them that way there, and they just sync across. But yeah, good question. Others?
Kim, can you hear me? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
When you set up a challenge group, how soon do you set it up?
Do I set up a challenge group or do I set up the event?
Yeah, when do you set up the events?
I try to set up my events a minimum of a month out. So right now I don't have my January or my February one started yet, and that's kind of stressing me out a little bit. But I'll get that up here over Christmas break, and that will be ready to go for February. I sometimes when I think about things like a full quarter out or be thinking that way, I will create the events like long time ago. Like this December ones that we did, I had scheduled in October. The January ones I was scheduling in November. So getting the event started, and then as they get closer, then you start doing more in that event page, or you have your sneak peek group or whatever, and then you can get people going in that.
Sounds good.
Okay, I have a question. Actually, I have a couple. First of all, when you're doing inviting, are you doing just one-on-one inviting, or are you adding people to your event page and letting them decide if they're interested or not? How are you doing that?
So my inviting is the paragraph that I start with that, let me see if I can pull it up. Right now it says, find the right one. Hey, how's it going? I hope your December has been stress-free thus far with all the hustle and bustle of the holidays. It's hard not to get caught up in it all. I've been meaning to ask you if you've been interested in joining any of my upcoming online accountability health and fitness groups. It's run online in a private Facebook group and in an app called My Challenge Tracker. It's super fun and motivating. You can help you get focused on getting healthy and fit, truly making it a lifestyle. It's not about pounds and inches. It's about a healthy mindset too. And in the month of January, it's going to pay you to work out and drink your shake. Everyone gets an even cut of $3 million. It's the best time to get in. What do you have to lose? Would you be interested in more information? And that's just what I send, like to people that are friends with me or that I've added to my network and those kinds of things. And I just have, I have a list, a note on my computer that I have multiples like that, and I just tweak them every couple months to just send out. So that's what I send.
Wait,
and then I have my event page.
Do you wait until they show interest before you add them to your event group, or
my event page is my event page is just a public event that I have on my. Sometimes I put them on my wellness page where I can sponsor them. Sometimes I put them just on my regular page and then invite past challengers, invite my coaches, put something in there all the time, like a graphic or talking about it a little bit. So it just shows up in my news feed again. I don't really ever like add people to that event. I just kind of have it there. If there are people that are interested in it, or like there's new people that I've added to my network, I might just add those people into it, just invite them to it, because, that's an easier way sometimes if they don't know me or don't know them as well. But then I also have started, was it back in October, when Teresa Schrader showed us the challenge group sneak peek idea. I started that. And so that's when people really come back and say, yes, I'm interested in, and I might be at work, or I'm doing something with my family. The chronic coach a little bit in me would say, great, I'm glad you're interested in, can I put you into a private group where you can learn more about it on your own time and then ask me questions? And they usually say yes. And then I put them in there and they just learn about what they need to learn about. And then we have conversations when it's my time to talk to them. So
I like that. My second question is, as you're switching programs, do you have your nutrition kind of down to a science, or are you adjusting them according to the programs?
I am always in column A. And so I just kind of have my containers down. I do figure it out every time. I want to see if it's going to be different, but I'm always in column A, it seems like. So I have my containers figured out. I was really stuck with my nutrition for a while. And so when I did the ultimate reset, that was really good to branch out of the same sweet potatoes and chicken and broccoli that I've been eating forever. So I have some new things that I've been trying now. And I try to kind of reorganize my containers as well. So I'm not eating the same thing all the time, but yeah, I'm typically the same. So it does make meal prepping really easy.
Yeah.
Other questions?
Kim, when you run a challenge group where most of your challengers participate each month, do you still send them a personal invite each month, or do you just add it there?
If they are a current customer of mine, I usually just add them in.
Okay.
At the end of our challenge group here, we have one finishing up tomorrow. I will always, say, hey, if you want in on the next one, it starts January 2nd, go to the event page and like that. Or, say that you're in, and then I'll make sure you get in. And then sometimes in the end, if I know that they need support, but they haven't said anything, I'll just put them in anyway. They can always ignore it. But if you're a current customer of mine, you're in, kind of thing. So yeah, unless I really have disconnected from the group, I've got a couple people that really haven't been very active here in December. I'm kind of debating on whether I'll put them in the January group or not, but we'll see.
Yeah. It just seems like you could waste most of your power hour just sending messages to your challengers.
Yeah.
So.
And I do, I didn't put this in there, but I do send private messages to all of my challengers twice a week. So usually Mondays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Fridays, depending on what's going on in my week. But it's, again, a short little same 2 couple questions that I copy and paste into sometimes 80 people individually. And then the people that respond back to me, those are the follow-up conversations that I'm having. Just how's your day going? What are you most proud of? Those kinds of things.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I try to find pockets of time to do different things. I know that we've kind of joked before, Lauren said before, she'll do a post in the bathroom sitting on the toilet. Guilty. Or I'm listening to PD while I'm emptying the dishwasher. I'm sitting in my office working on a report, and I've got, some sort of podcast or video going in the background. While I'm driving, I always have a podcast going. I always try to get in extra PD time when I have open moments. So yeah. Other questions? Love the scripts, Liz. Thank you.
Yay, Kim. Thanks for doing this. Everybody stay on. Kim, would you be able to stop the recording?
Yep.